Right, so good afternoon. We're ready to start. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's never too late to learn, so I will start the presentation now, and it is being recorded. So who are Hepp? We are the Higher Education Progression Partnership, and we are jointly funded by Sheffield Hallam and the University of Sheffield. And we work across South Yorkshire and North East Derbyshire, working in schools to encourage more children, young people and adults to consider higher education. But we're about impartial advice and guidance about higher education. We do have a website which is called the Hepp Hub, and that's our website address there. And on there, there's lots of useful information and resources all about higher education. So whether you're a mature student, whether you have a disability, whether you're a care experienced student, young carer, or a parent and carer yourself. So there's lots of different resources, whether that's a brochure or video clips as well. And it also provides lots of links to our organisations, local providers of education, and hosts, as I said, specific information for students with disabilities and mature students. So what our session today will cover is all the different routes. So we're looking at it from starting as a hobby and then progressing all the way up to higher education if you choose. We're also going to talk about the support that you get as a mature student at local institutions and how accessible it is for you as a mature student, along with seeing, hopefully, the benefits of learning and how that can take you through that journey. There is a little bit about student finance for mature students, but like with student finance, we do also we recommend that you go and speak to Student Finance England if you want to pursue the higher education route. So I am now going to pass you over to colleagues here today. We've got Mira and Elaine, and they're from the local authority in Sheffield and Barnsley. So I'm now going to hand you over to Elaine.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm Elaine Oliver from Adult Skills and Community Learning based in Barnsley, so part of the local authority. So we're quite often right at the beginning of an adult learner's journey, quite often for people who are returning to learning, haven't got the qualifications they got from school, and perhaps are a bit fearful of coming back into learning. A lot of what we do are the basic skills for getting English, maths or IT skills. And we take people right from pre-entry, so it's for people who perhaps are unable to read and write, to the lower level entry levels, up to level 2, and in some cases we do GCSE. We do IT as well, which is the digital skills and some of the Microsoft Office skills as well. Quite often, again, people are not quite ready for learning, and we do find, especially at the moment, that people have got, lacking in confidence, anxiety about coming back into learning or doing something. So we offer a range of wellbeing courses, and that is sort of giving them tools and techniques and to sort of get them back into a learning environment where they feel a bit more comfortable. And some of that has a creative element as well. So it might be well-being with a range of different art mediums, or we do sometimes sugarcraft and other creative courses. Again, it's all about well-being and improving their well-being areas, if you like, to get them ready for learning. So that's quite often where some people start before they even think about the other side of things. But then obviously that allows them to progress onto those basic skills for English, maths and IT. We also do other short introductory courses because we offer qualifications for people who want to work in childcare, teaching assistant or health and social care. So those are other progression routes that they can come to us for. Everybody that does come to us has a session with us for information, advice and guidance. I'm sort of in charge of that team to make sure everybody will listen to what their needs are, and they are then obviously signposted to the right course that they choose to undertake. Throughout that journey, we can intervene with that person to help them progress. Sometimes we have learners coming straight in at level 2 that may want to go into a career such as nursing, and we might recommend to go to Hepp then straight away, but we might have others that could take quite a number of years to even get to that point to get some basic qualifications. So we've got a wide range of learners. Within our services, we have pastoral mentors, so there is support for all our learners at any point throughout their journey. And as I say, we start from the very basics up to getting those qualifications. And I think that's about it really for us. I know Smira's coming on next. She does very similar things to us in Sheffield. And as I said, we mainly cover the Barnsley area, but it is part of Sheffield City region. So we can take people from Sheffield, Rotherham, Barnsley and Doncaster. But obviously it's whatever's nearest for them to get to. Okay, so I'll hand you over to Smira.
Thanks, Elaine. Hi everyone, my name is Samira Sadiq and I work for FACES, which is Family Adult Community Education Service, and we're part of Sheffield City Council. So Elaine's talked about their provision in Barnsley, but if you live in Sheffield, then you might be interested in what we deliver. We deliver very similar things to Barnsley, so you can come in at the very low end of our learning, which is engagement courses, just to get your pique your interest. So you can join our courses even if you've never done anything before. You might be new to the country, you might have done education a long time ago and didn't have a great experience but want to try your hand at something again, and come to us. So our courses are for all adults aged 19 and above who've got the right to live and work in the UK, but this doesn't exclude those that are waiting for their immigration status. So we do have learners who don't quite have their immigration status. So like I said, anybody can join at any level. You can come to us and join in our engagement courses, in some of our workshops. You might want to do some family learning just to get to grips with learning again and getting out of the house. You can start your learning journey there and then progress on to our accredited learning, such as ESOL. So if you want to improve your language skills, we do ESOL classes for all levels, from pre-entry all the way to level 2 now. And then from that, you can progress on to your functional English and maths classes, which go up to level 2, which are a GCSE equivalent to a grade 4. And these are the qualifications that employers are looking for these days. And also vast majority of universities will accept them if you want to get onto a degree qualification. We also deliver essential digital skills. So for those that aren't quite confident with their computer skills, you might want to start an introductory course and then move up all the way to level 1. We also deliver vocational qualifications, and part of that is employability skills. So if you're at work or you've come out of work and you just want to update your skills a little bit, you can do employability skills as a standalone qualification, or you may want to do something like childcare at level 1, or health and social care, or customer service skills. These are just some of the courses that we do, but we have many others. Our classes are very small, so we only have up to 12 learners in each class, and this is so that we can provide learners with the support that they need when they come back into learning. Our courses are delivered in community venues, so you'll see us in libraries, in community centres, in churches and even some mosques. We want to take the learning to you so you don't have to travel too far. We also provide support for those learners that might have barriers. They want to come back to learning, but actually they've got very young children and they've got nobody to support them, to take care of them. So we do have a small discretionary learner fund where we can help learners to apply for childcare costs and also travel costs, so that you won't have those barriers to learning. So please inquire with us if you do have young children or if you need that additional support. When you come into the classes, you'll make lifelong friends. You'll be with other adults your age, similar, a little bit older, a little bit younger, but people from all over the world. So you'll make friends from across the globe. We advertise and market our courses on social media. So if you've got a Facebook account, Instagram, or even a Twitter account, you'll see us on there, and we try to have a regular presence. But there isn't a very onerous referral system, so you just have to give us a ring or send us an email, and I know that's going to be shared at the end. Now, throughout our courses, you'll get the support that you need to be able to progress. So you'll get information, advice and guidance at the outset, when you join us or when you make the inquiry, all the way through to when you come to leave us. And part of that information, advice and guidance is presenting you with, or presenting the learner with, opportunities. So that can be higher education, it might be voluntary work, it might be an apprenticeship. We may give you information about the open evenings for mature students. So it's whatever you want. So the support that you get is bespoke to you, and it's impartial. So you decide where you want to go and what's best for you. And I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samira. Right, so we'll move over. We have got a video clip of a mature student who has come through Samira, but it is about 5 minutes long. So we're going to send this along with the video, the recording, and the presentation, so you can watch it in your own time, because it is very, very powerful. The student has obviously come from a different country and done ESOL, and then moved into doing an educational route, looking at teaching assistants. So it is really, really lovely to watch. So we will let you do that in your own time. So we're now going to move on to college and how the next progression from the local authority and that community type learning is. So we've got Northern College with us, we've got Barnsley College, and we've got the RNN group, and they're going to talk about their routes, different routes up towards higher education. Now, with these routes that we're going to talk about, these are all different levels, and each institution will have different courses for these, but our people that are on today, so Hannah and Ben and Holly, are going to talk about what's something at their institution. So I'm now going to hand you over to Hannah.
Hi everyone, my name's Hannah and I'm the Careers and Work Placement Advisor at Northern College. So we are based at Stainborough near Barnsley, and we do offer short community courses, but we also offer the Access to HE diploma. And what that is, it's a qualification for individuals without traditional qualifications to prepare you for study at university. So it's your stepping stone in order to get to university. It's a full level 3 qualification, and other examples of the access course then include A levels. There's loads of different colleges and organisations in the South Yorkshire region that offer this, up and down the country as well, and you can find them in quite a lot of different subject areas. So at Northern College we offer the Humanities and Social Sciences Social Studies access course, and that includes a mixture of different subjects. That's in case you're not really sure which kind of area you want to go into at university, so we kind of incorporate quite a few different subject areas in that one, such as English, history, sociology, social policy, psychology and media. We also offer health science professions for those who are interested in wanting to study paramedic science or midwifery or nursing at university. And we also offer the Crime and Criminal Justice Access course, which is suitable for those interested in wanting to do law or criminology or psychology at university. So the next slide that I'm going to talk about is advanced apprenticeships. So apprenticeships are a really, really good way to get practical training in a job alongside study. So you'll be earning a real wage, getting holiday pay, and you'll be working alongside experienced staff in the different sectors. So they'll be like your mentors, and you're earning skills whilst on the job. Normally that you'll spend around 4 days in the workplace and 1 day at like a local college, gaining your level 3 qualification that way. So not normally then apprenticeships last around 24 months, but that does depend on the profession and the employer. And there's, like I say, lots of different apprenticeships in loads of different areas. And one example is business administration. What I didn't mention about the access course in the previous slide, normally they last around 9 months. So you'd start in September and finish around March, April time. Yeah, that's everything from me. I'll pass you over to Holly.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and now Holly from Barnsley College.
Hi everyone, so my name's Holly Bentley and I work in the Information, Advice and Guidance team at Barnsley College. We're based in the town centre and like many of the other providers on here, we offer a huge range of adult courses, right from hobby courses like ceramics and jewellery making, all the way up to full degrees. But today I'm going to talk about higher national certificates. So higher national certificates, or HNCs, are level 4 courses, and they're the next step up from those level 3 further education courses. So the next step up from those access courses potentially that we've just been talking about. They're the first step in higher education, and they can be used as a stepping stone to get a degree, but without the initial commitment of committing to those full 3 years in education. You can study HNCs as a full or part-time course or as an apprenticeship, and you can use them to develop completely new skills, maybe to help with a career change, or you can study them alongside your work to progress in current employment. An example of a HNC that we offer here at Barnsley is Construction Built Environment. This one's actually a part-time course, so you study for just 1 day a week for 2 years, and then you can leave that course with your level 4 qualification and a graduation ceremony, or you can continue on to level 5 and level 6 qualifications, or you could take that qualification, you could have a break, you could work in industry for a little bit, and then you could decide a few years down the line that you want to pick up learning again, and then you could commence with your degree after that. So it's a non-commitment way of kind of starting a degree and getting on that higher education ladder. But that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. So I'm now going to move over to the HND, which is very, very similar in a way to what Holly has just gone through. And HND follows your HNC, and you can do that as a full-time for 2 years or a part-time for 3 years, 3 to 4 years. But obviously it just follows on. And like Holly said, you can finish at that level or you can continue on then to do a degree. Now, both apprenticeship at level 5 and a foundation degree and an HND can lead on to that top-up year to gain a full bachelor's degree. Now, at Sheffield College, there's a lots of variety in terms of what courses you can do, which are shown to the right of the screen. So you've got things from engineering, sport, all the way to education, so teaching, health and social care, animal care. So lots of variety there that you can do. Now, with an HND, we're talking about it here as a college, but you can actually also study that at a higher education institution, a university as well. Okay, so, but it's about these sort of qualifications are focusing on the learning by doing, if you like, give you skills that you can then use within a particular job. So I'm now going to pass you over, bear with me, to Rotherham, the RNN group, and I'm going to pass you to Ben.
Hi everyone, so I'm Ben. I work at the RNN group. That's Rotherham College, North Notts College, Dearne Valley College in the University Centre, Rotherham. I'm an adult careers coach. I help people with just about anything really, like filling in application forms, applying to university, if they need help with their CVs, if they need help with pathways to get into different things. I'm here to help, not just with our own students, but anybody outside of the college as well can just let me know, and I'll do my best to help you out. So I'm just going to talk about a traditional course at university, so a level 6 course, and how you go about getting onto that. So to get onto the course, you might need some, you'd need some relevant qualifications. Our example here is theatrical media, hair and makeup, where you'd also need a portfolio of work to be able to show. So with media, hair and makeup, you'd have to show that you had the skills to be able to proceed onto that course. You can also choose foundation degree with this instead of direct entry, and then proceed through it that way. Usually for your final year, you'll need a dissertation, or a final project might include a portfolio of all the things that you've done throughout the year. So you collect evidence of all the things that you can do. and there's normally a lot of opportunities within a degree like this to go and work outside of the university and build up your different skills, different connections with different places. So it'd be a lot of fun. You'd apply usually just through UCAS. That's something that we can help with as well. UCAS applications, where you get up to five choices of different courses and different providers that you could apply to. And then next, I'm going to talk about degree apprenticeships. Wonderful. So with apprenticeships, you get level 4, level 5, and level 6. There's many different areas you can do with an apprenticeship. We've put up accounting, but again, there's things all the way through to like software development. So really good opportunity to study, learn those skills while you're earning. Yeah, it's I think it's a really good opportunity to like get into the workplace already and build up those skills. Yeah, brilliant. That's all from me.
Lovely, thank you very much, Ben. And we are now going to move over to university study, so degree level study. And we've got Kate and Helen, Kate from Sheffield Hallam and Helen from University of Sheffield. And these are our partners. So I'm going to hand you over now to Kate.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, everyone. I am Kate and I am from Sheffield Hallam University. I'm just going to take a few minutes to have a chat to you about our offer at Sheffield Hallam for mature students, some of the courses that you might want to get involved with or take a look at, but also some of the support that we offer at the application stage and also on course as well to enable mature learners to make the most out of their university experience. So all of our courses at Sheffield Hallam are open to mature learners or adult learners, and we have a very wide range of courses and learning kind of styles available to you. As far as our kind of traditional full-time undergraduate courses, we do have over 500 to choose from. So they go from anything from accounting and finance to health and social care. There is a whole range of subjects that we offer at Sheffield Hallam Uni. Normally, these will last 3 years, up to 4 years if you choose to do a placement year, and many of our courses do offer that year in industry as an option. Again, there's a huge range of subjects available. There really is something for everyone at Sheffield Hallam. Most of our full-time courses will range from 8 hours contact time with a lecturer or tutor up to 20 hours contact time a week, dependent on the course. That 20 hours a week tends to be the more intensive courses, things like teaching and healthcare. And there are placement opportunities available on every course that we offer at the university, whether that's a short-term placement up to a whole year in industry. Now, we know that full-time courses don't fit with everybody's circumstances, so many of our courses do offer a part-time route as well. We have over 140 that offer that route. These will take up to 6 years to complete, as it'll be less contact time per week. They're suitable for students who are also working, but also may have other responsibilities such as childcare as well, for anyone who can't commit themselves to an intense full-time course. And even though they are a less hours per week for part-time courses, there is still all those placement opportunities available, so you don't miss out on any of those extracurricular opportunities. We do have some alternative study options as well, things like top-up courses and foundation degrees. A foundation degree is the academic equivalent of 2/3 of an undergraduate degree, so slightly less commitment and a slightly lower level, but you're still getting 2/3 of that degree. They are not the same as a foundation year. So sometimes foundation years and foundation degrees are used interchangeably. They're not the same thing. A foundation year is an introduction to undergraduate courses, and many of our courses do offer that foundation year as an intro to that degree. A foundation degree is a completely separate qualification that is the equivalent of 2/3 of a degree. We do offer top-ups as well. So some of the qualifications that my colleagues here have spoke about today, things like HNDs, HNCs, foundation degrees. They can be topped up at a later date to a full undergraduate degree, and you do this through a 1 to 2 year top-up degree with a university. We currently offer them in 11 different subject areas, and there's multiple versions of those courses available. Then the final one is degree apprenticeships. These are much more new than your traditional university study, but growing in popularity. These are excellent for anyone who wants to earn while they're learning and enjoy that more applied learning and hands-on learning approach. These give you the same undergrad qualification on completion as the traditional university route, but they take a little bit longer, so 4 to 5 years, because you are working the majority of the time in a full-time role. These are set up where you're doing 80% with an employer in a full-time job and 20% in the university doing your study and getting your degree. And they're currently available with us in 9 industry areas, and there's multiple degree routes within those 9 areas, but they're growing and developing all the time. So very quickly, some of the support that you would be able to access as an adult learner on our courses at Sheffield Hallam. Every university will offer different varieties of support. These are just the ones that we currently have at Hallam. The Students' Union is a big source of support for all students, but particularly adult learners. Some of the things that they offer, there's coffee and cake sessions, which are very social sessions for adult learners to get to know other learners with similar circumstances, so they've got that support network. They're very laid back and an enjoyable experience. Children are welcome to those, so if you're worried about childcare or those kind of responsibilities, children can come along to those, and there's always activities put on to occupy them. There's study groups and drop-in clinics if you're struggling with anything or need some additional support, they're available. There's the Welcome Week programme of events that all students can access, but there's also some bespoke sessions and events available for adult learners. And there's also lots of societies for our mature students to get involved with. Then as far as on-course support, every student at Sheffield Hallam has access to 3 support advisors. These cover your academic advisor, who can help you with any difficulties or that transition into academic work at the university. You have your student support advisor. They help with anything health and wellbeing related if you're having any worries or troubles whilst you're at university. And then your final one is your employability advisor, and they can support you with things such as preparing for interviews, writing CVs, looking for jobs, and they stay with you for up to 5 years after you graduate, so you've still got that support even after you've finished at the university. We then also have the student wellbeing service and the skills centre to make sure that you're getting the most out of your university experience. And then as far as financial support at the university, we have a few scholarships that you can get involved with, and the Student Success Scholarship is one. It does have a range of criteria, but do have a look if you think you might be able to access that extra bit of financial support. And then there is some that is specific to different courses, things around the NHS and also teacher training courses. I've just popped some QR codes up there, so do feel free to have a look at those if you think they might apply to you. And the final bit I'll just talk about is SHU Progress. SHU Progress is our applicant support scheme. So this is for people who are applying or in the process of applying to Sheffield Hallam from a range of different backgrounds. This is for anyone who might have barriers to going to university, so we can support them with overcoming those barriers and helping them realise their interest in going into higher education. So there's a whole range of groups that we support, from care leavers to disabled students, anyone in financial difficulty or hardship, and mature students who are returning to learning, and that's anyone who is 21 or above at the point of starting a university course. There's a range of support this offers, including a named contact at the university through the application process, but also bespoke events and also financial support with visiting the university as well. Please feel free to contact us on the contact details on there about SHU Progress, or if you search SHU Progress on our website, you can find out a little bit more. And I'll now hand over to Helen to talk about the University of Sheffield.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, hi everybody. My name's Helen. I work for the University of Sheffield and specifically for the Department for Lifelong Learning. So as everyone's already said today, there are loads of different study options and loads of different routes for getting into higher education. Obviously, if you already have existing qualifications or have done an access course, then you are eligible to apply for direct entry no matter what age you are. But what I'm here specifically to talk about is the degrees with a foundation year that we offer in the Department for Lifelong Learning. And that's a really, really popular route for mature learners who are returning to education. So we offer those degrees with a foundation year in over 40 different subjects. And I'll go through what those are in the next slide. We also offer a part-time certificate, which you can do with or without a foundation year. And that's an option that sometimes people choose if they're not quite sure what they want to go on and study. So they take on a part-time foundation course and then start to make some decisions about what course they might want to go on to. If you go on to the next slide, Kelly. So a degree with a foundation year, and as Kate said, that's not to be confused with a foundation degree. It can be a little bit confusing between the two. But a good degree with a foundation year is a full degree, but with an introductory foundation year. And how that differs a little bit from something like an access course is that you apply for the degree with the foundation year. So it's coming as a full kind of package, if you like. So you study the foundation year, and then once you've completed that, you go on to level 1 of the degree that you're wanting to do. That does require you to have some kind of idea up front about what degree you want to go on to, but there is some flexibility with that. Sometimes people do change their mind during the foundation year and make a slight switch onto a different course. The idea of the foundation year is it's very much an introduction to and a reintroduction, if you like, back into study. So there is some focus on the subject knowledge that you'll need for your degree, but it's also very much about academic skills and building back up confidence to return to education. So academic skills might be things like using the library, how to do referencing correctly in an essay, how to revise, how to take notes, those sorts of things. As I said, we offer them in a wide range of degree courses. At the University of Sheffield, the degree with a foundation year is specifically for mature learners. So any student applying for one of those courses will be studying alongside other mature students. And after I finish speaking, you're going to meet Tracy, who's one of our former foundation students who's been on one of these courses. What's really kind of exciting for mature learners about these courses is that you don't need traditional entry qualifications. So often when we're talking about university entry, we're talking about having an A-level set of A-levels or having done an access course. We don't look for any of those things. We're looking for life experience, work experience, a passion and interest in the subject, and really a potential to succeed. But that potential doesn't have to be demonstrated through a set of qualifications. It can be demonstrated through your personal statement and your interview and that kind of thing. So we offer those across all of our faculties apart from engineering at this stage. But as you can see on the screen, there's a massive range of courses that we offer a foundation year route into, from social sciences to science and health to arts and humanities. And there's a real mix there of very much arts and humanities subjects, so things like English literature, history, that kind of thing. But also we offer some much more vocational kind of courses, so things like orthoptics or speech and language therapy, or courses for people wanting to go on into health professions. So there's a really wide range. Everybody who goes into any of these courses studies the foundation year together alongside other mature learners. So there's a real opportunity in that year to build up a network of support from other mature students. Next slide, please, Kelly. So this is very similar to what Kate was talking about the support that's available for mature learners at Sheffield Hallam, and very similar again to the kind of support you would get in other institutions as well. So at the University of Sheffield, everybody has a personal tutor, but also access to that more pastoral welfare support. I'm not going to read through everything that's on the slide, but there's a really wide range of support services that are available to students, whether that's help with your academic studies or whether it's some support that you need outside of that. So support with a particular disability or financial support or counselling or any of those sorts of things. And then there's also the kind of things that you'd expect to see at university, like a students' union and access to university accommodation and that kind of thing. So a really broad range of support that goes beyond just helping you with your studies. One of the things we talk about quite a lot with potential students, and actually, as I said before, this isn't just applicable to the University of Sheffield, but I think there's a really important choice to be made in choosing the right course for you if you're returning to education. And there's just some key things to think about that we talk about quite a lot with prospective students. So what are your motivations for study? So why are you returning to study at this stage? Is it for interest? Is it to develop a hobby? Is it for a career? You know, just kind of starting to think about why you're doing this and what the right course might be. And then what your expectations are, what you hope to achieve at the end of your studies, what sort of course do you want? Again, something vocational, something more academic, something developmental. And also the kinds of learning and teaching styles. You know, there's different environments that you can study in, whether you choose to study in a college environment, a community environment, a further education, higher education environment. And also, I think really importantly with mature learners is what are the constraints on your time? You know, we really understand and appreciate that mature learners returning to education are doing so against a backdrop of a whole load of other stuff going on in their lives, whether that's work or family or caring commitments or looking after children, looking after elderly relatives, that kind of thing. So being realistic about that and thinking actually how much study can you fit into your life? We find actually a lot of our mature learners do opt for full-time study because there's often a sense of, you know, I've kind of waited this long for this opportunity, I'm going to invest a lot of my time in it, but that's not possible for everybody, and we understand that, and we, you know, we try and support that as much as we possibly can. I think that might be my final slide, in which case I think I'm going to hand over to Tracy now. So Tracy has studied on our foundation year and is now studying at the University of Sheffield. So Tracy's just going to talk a little bit about what brought her to university as a mature learner and just a little bit about what that's been like for her. So over to you, Tracy. I think you're here.
I'm Tracy. I left school at 18 and I went straight into the world of work. I worked in my career for about 25 years and then I took time off to have children, like a lot of the mature students have been within the Department for Lifelong Learning at the University of Sheffield. And I developed a disability, which meant that I found it difficult to go back into work having had children. And one of the things I'd always wondered about was what would I have done if I'd actually decided, if I'd had the ability to go to university and not been encouraged to work when I'd left school. So 33 years later, having left school, I decided to apply to University of Sheffield. My main reasons for going via the Department for Lifelong Learning is after that length of time, I thought I'll never remember how to write an essay, how to research correctly. And I knew I needed that background in order to move further and to commence into a university life. What I found with the Department for Lifelong Learning is the experience within the tutors and the admin staff there is incredible. They immediately spot the individual needs of different students. So the first thing they advised me to do was to do with my disability is to go and see our disability and dyslexia service in order to get specific help in order to manage my studies and my exams in the coming years, which was invaluable because I think without that I would have had to leave by now. And it's very bespoke help for a variety of different student needs. The other thing I found that was incredibly useful at the university is the way we have been signposted to different useful outlets to help us with essay writing, time management, effective reading skills, use of the library effectively. And I think, generally speaking, throughout the whole year with the Department for Lifelong Learning, I found that the main thing they gave you was the confidence that as a mature student, significantly older than students, the majority of students I would be joining at level 1, I would have the ability to keep up and that I would be well prepared in order to complete my studies in an effective manner with them. And that did prove to be the case. I'm now working on a group project with a group of 21-year-olds, holding my own. And I feel a lot of that is due to the basis I was given within the Department for Lifelong Learning. And altogether, it's been an incredible experience. For me, it was always, because I'm due to retire anyway, I'm retirement age in a couple of years, it was always something that I'd wanted to do more than something I would have thought I was going to get a job from long term. Having said that, in my final year, I've done a module on TESOL, and so now I've developed quite an enthusiasm about teaching English to second language learners. So I may continue and look at doing teaching as English as a second language when I finish my degree at the end of next year. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. That's a fantastic account, and you're doing fabulous to keep continuing. It's not easy, is it, when you've got obviously family and other commitments as well. So thank you for passing on your thoughts and feelings, because it takes a lot for anyone to come on and have to do that. So thank you. We have got a question, but I'm going to I know there is a question in the chat, but I'm going to come back to that at the end. Okay, it's not for yourself, Tracy, so we can pick that up later. All right, but thank you. I'm sure there will be other questions a bit later on, so we'll move on now. So just to start to talk about a bit of finance. Now, I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail on this, just because it's obviously depends on your situation, and we would always recommend for a lot of the higher education to go through to Student Finance England Direct and find out. But for student finance for your ESOL, your health and wellbeing and employability courses, so what Samira and Elaine were talking about, some of them may be free, but some do have a cost attached. So what we're saying is really it's best that we recommend you to speak to the educational provider to find out a bit more, because obviously it depends on the local authority and lots of other situations. Some courses, as they are free under legal entitlement, such as your maths, English and digital skills, if you don't already hold a qualification. But as we say, with anything, if you're a bit unsure or you're interested but you just don't know, it's best to always ask and see what they'll be able to help you with anything that you've got on those. With regards to student finance for mature learners for when you go through to degree, obviously some of the support is the same for whether you're going as an 18-year-old from school or college as it is as a mature student. So things like the tuition fee, DSA, so disabled student allowance, and things like that are all very much the same, but there are differences in terms of things like your maintenance loan. This is the type of loan that depends on your age, your marital status, and obviously with evidence, there will be evidence that is required, so you'll need to provide things that differ if you're aged over 25 to if you're under. So again, with all of these, we recommend that you obviously speak to Student Finance England just to make sure that you get the right information for you, because obviously everybody is different and has a different situation. So again, these are sort of the key messages. I won't read through all of them, but basically they're saying applications. So for standard student applicants are based on the income of 2 parents, but as a mature student, you'll probably be based on your partner or your spouse. But if you're aged 25 plus and single, then you would qualify for the maximum support. So again, as I say, it's about making sure that you do some research and you speak to Student Finance England to be able to tell you what you get as an funding and what you'd need to pay back and things like that. So more and more mature people are starting to study or return to study after that career break. So what they ask you to do is just check your eligibility and your entitlement. But again, it's just, they say, just go for it. So that's the end of our session. We have got an evaluation, which we would really, really appreciate you filling in. It takes a couple of minutes, but it really helps us to be able to develop our course, our sessions, and make sure that we're providing information that's useful and helpful to yourselves. We have recorded this session, so we will be sending out the slides along with the recording, so you have that to access at a later date if you've missed something or you want to recap on something. But again, if you could use that QR code or that link just to put in some feedback for us so that we can, as I say, develop our sessions. But while I'm just about to stop sharing my screen, we will go back to the questions that are on there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So I think there might be a couple of them. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got at the top. Bear with me as I try and use my... So it looks like yours has been answered. Is that right, Mohammed? I think yours has been answered. So if it hasn't, we can come back to that. Yeah, I think there's some answers there. Yeah, brilliant. So
Kelly,
I'm looking...
Sorry to interrupt. It's Helen here. I just popped a couple of links there from the University of Sheffield, but I don't know if there's anything else that Hallam want to share, or any Kate, if you've got any links that might be relevant as well. I only work with undergraduate students, so I don't have a lot of knowledge on postgraduate, but those 2 links, if you follow those, there'll be people there that can help.
Yeah, I know that. Sorry, go on, Kate.
I'm just having a quick look now. I'll drop some links into the chat for you as quick as I can.
Yeah, because I think it depends on the degree, or I know it does with other qualifications, to what level you can come in over here to do that. But obviously, Kate, if you're finding that out, that would be amazing. And how you can apply, that would be great. We'll come back to you on that to finalise that question. Where's the next one? I'm looking for a free course in catering and hospitality. Now, obviously, we would probably need to look at your situation in terms of what you've got, your education background. So it might be better you'll get the my email address when you get these presentation slides. So if you drop me an email, we can probably discuss it in more detail in terms of what your background is, in terms of what qualification you've got and where you want to study, and how we can go from there, and what your situation is, because obviously I don't think we'd be able to answer that in terms of being able to go on, because it depends what level of catering you want to do and hospitality. Is it sort of access level? Is it a degree level? So I'll drop you, I'll put my email address in the chat now, and then you can email me, and then we can go from there, if that's okay. I'm here with Mona. Can we share the recording with other learners who couldn't be here? Absolutely, John. Yes, please do. The more the merrier. It will go onto our website, which is the following website. And on there has got lots of resources that you can access. And with that, there's video links. There is mature learner disability brochures, anything you can find that will help you and other learners. But yeah, please do forward that on to other learners. But it'd be interesting if you could let me know in an email who you're forwarding it on to, just so that we can get a gauge of where information is being sent. That would be fantastic. Kate's coming back now. Has anyone else got any further questions? None for Tracy. I'd be interested. Surely there's someone out there that might want to be asked Tracy a question. No. So what subject are you studying, Tracy, did you say?
I study English language with linguistics. And I've been fortunate to have a couple of free modules each year. So I've also studied French, German. I'm doing Italian this year as well. So
wow.
It's been really good. Really enjoyed
Gosh. So now do you have to go on holiday to all those destinations just to practice?
I wish, not with the cost of living, but I wish.
No. Yeah, maybe you'll have to, yeah. That's great. Yeah, so there's some loads of information I think that Kate's just put in, so hopefully that's really helpful. But obviously if it hasn't answered your question, please drop me an email, and then I can do as much as I can to find out any further information if you can't from there, if that's not much. Samira, you're tapping away, I see.
I'm tapping away. I was just going to send a little message to Tracy to say that your talk was really inspirational, and I'd love to invite you to talk to our learners about your learning journey, because it's so nice to hear from a learner, isn't it? You know, and not just the professionals who work in that arena.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's more powerful. It's definitely more powerful. So yeah, no.
And if you invite me, I would love to come, and that would be lovely. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Is there any
Tracy?
Yeah. If there is any final questions before we wrap up, and as I say, we will send out these links, and please just forward on to our website and the presentation and the recording, because the more people that see this, the better, so that people can look at, starting a hobby all the way up to perhaps starting a degree. It really doesn't matter. It's what's right for them. So it's just good to get, all of us as a community collaboratively working together to showcase what is available for a student as a mature student. Lovely. Thank you very much for your time. And we will leave it there, and we will send that all out. So have a lovely afternoon.